Ontario, Pokey Wilson, 13 catches, 201 yards, a beautiful touchdown last week. Looking for a little more tonight, and they said Zach had no one to throw to. Speaking about big games in the air, Sam MLS, 161 yards against the BC Lions, but unfortunately not enough. Saskatchewan handed their first loss of the season, and key injury as well in that game. As we welcome you inside the CFL on TSN Studios. Kate Burness alongside Enoch Mwamba, Davis Sanchez, Jim Barker. Just to let you know, we have the Ottawa Red Blacks taking on the Edmonton Elks. Big night over on TSN 1 and 5, and of course this game here. Looking forward to it, to say the least. Enoch, if you look at these two teams though, and you look at their records, so you got the 4-1 Saskatchewan Roughriders, and then you got the 2-4 Winnipeg Blue Bombers. We look at the records and you're like, okay, there's the better team. But right now, they feel like they're going in opposite directions.
Absolutely. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers are building momentum, defining ways to win now. This man, Zach Collaros, is a guy who we haven't been able to see. We haven't been able to recognize this whole team because he hasn't been himself this season. And so now that he's finding his way, he found a guy in Ontario Wilson, and Brady Oliveros has woken up as well. Sanchez?
Yeah.
This team is going to be dangerous. I know people are going to say, hey, well, they haven't been playing well at all. This is Zach Collaros. We know what he's capable of, and if he's going to wake up and start playing the way that we know he can play, this is a problem for everybody else.
Well, look, they got a weapon in Pokey, and what I saw last week, this offense now has explosive ability to get down the field, and that's the difference. This has always been a ball control team. If Zach has protection and weapons now, it seemed like a different team. That's why you talk about, Kate, different directions, what we saw last week in Winnipeg.
Well, Winnipeg, they're coming in trying to reestablish their bully mentality. Saskatchewan's going to get Miles Brown back, Malik Carney back, and their defensive front. But they lose Jamarcus Hardrick. Yeah. Jacob Brammer gets his first start at right tackle, and that's a huge thing. With Shea Patterson back there, they need to protect. They need to get A.J. Ouellette involved, and that means Brammer and the right side of the line need to be able to handle
Talking about the offensive line.
Of course, huge loss. He was a huge loss. By the way, how bright is this kid? Look how fast he can solve a Rubik's Cube. This kid needs to be on the panel. No, you couldn't. I'm joking.
Who wanna mess with me? Oppositions, yeah, I see those. Still, I be good wherever we go. We out mobbing, we ain't dodging. We can solve anybody with a problem. Who wanna mess with me? Oppositions, yeah, I see those. Still, I be good wherever we go. We out mobbing, we ain't dodging. We can solve anybody with a problem.
The second half of our Friday Night Football Double Dip brings us to Mosaic Stadium in Regina for the first of 3 regular season meetings between the Roughriders and the Blue Bombers. The Riders suffering their first loss of the season last week on the road in BC. Winnipeg has won 2 in a row and may have discovered another star on offense.
Yes, they have, haven't they? It was against Calgary, Ontario Wilson, who replaced Kenny Lawler in the lineup when he went down, had his breakout game. Targeted 16 times, caught 13 of them for over 200 yards versus the Stamps. Got open versus Calgary. Can he do it against the Rider D with the hottest DB in the league in Roland Milligan? He leads the CFL with 4 interceptions.
Corey Mace off to a 2-0 start at home. What else matters in Riderville than being unbeatable in this stadium? 2 wins in a row for Mike O'Shea over Ottawa and Calgary, trying to get this team back up to 500. Real nice crowd on a real nice night in the Prairies. 28 degrees at kickoff. Winnipeg won the toss, said we'll take it, and they will get it to start the football game. Bombers, Riders injected into our veins. We're underway, and this is Cody Case on the return. Takes it back up to the 25, trying to kick it to the outside. Turns it back upfield, takes it just outside the 30 on his first return.
Well, it was more Zach-like numbers versus Calgary. They got this team turned around and got a 2-game win streak going. Both those games, however, at home in front of their great fans in Winnipeg. So this is the first road game, a 3rd game in that 2-game win streak. So back on track. Zach back over 300 yards passing versus the Stamps.
He's won 7 of his last 8 against the Riders. They start on their own 33 after hanging 41 on Calgary last week. Brady Oliveira stands in to the right of his quarterback. They'll give it to him, trying to push ahead, and that's not going to be easy to do against the Riders. Let's take a look at this Winnipeg offense.
Yeah, I looked up front and saw that Eric Lofton is probably going to go head-to-head with Anthony Lanier, who has moved outside the defensive end against the BC Lions for Saskatchewan. More on that D in a second, but Lofton versus Lanier in that matchup will be interesting. And there's Ontario Wilson with over 200 yards. Interestingly, the last Bomber to have a 200-yard game was Kenny Lawler.
Lofton, 14 starts for the Riders last year. 2nd and 10 early here for Winnipeg. Polaris in the pocket over the middle. Scott Johnson. Johnson turns it upfield, broke a tackle. Now he takes it all the way out to midfield before he's pushed out of bounds. That is the longest play of his young career in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, out of Tulsa, 5'11", 181 pounds, scoots across on that over and under. There's a different layer behind, pulling those linebackers back. So Johnson is the underneath guy, just makes a couple people miss for a nice first down.
DeMarcus Fields finally getting over there to cut off that angle on the far side of the field. Previous season long was 19. That one goes for 26. And the Bombers with some buzz early here at Mosaic. Up to the Rider 51. Polaris fakes the handoff out into the flat. That's complete. Some room here for Clercius. And he takes a big pop, but he's got a first down for Winnipeg and a little bit slow to get up. Kevin Clercius.
Well, you know, when these two teams play, it's going to be physical. Doesn't matter if it's early September or earlier in the season.
Milligan.
He has been flying around. Filling the stat sheet. Roland Milligan leading the team in total tackles, leading the team in interceptions, leading the team in knockdowns. We'll be calling his name tonight.
Special teams tackles. Polaris again out into the flat. That one off the hand of Johnson and hung up in the danger zone for a little bit before falling incomplete against this Riders defense.
Up front, they get Malik Carney back on the D line, but instead of moving Anthony Lanier back in, they're going to leave him out there. He had 2 sacks versus the Lions in that first game as a defensive end this season. Jameer Thurman has taken the ball away as well, has an interception for a touchdown, 3 fumble recoveries, and there is Milligan, I think the hottest DB in the CFL right now.
Must watch on the defensive side of the ball. Milligan absolutely all over the place. 24 tackles. 9 special teams tackles, had 5 tackles, an interception, and a knockdown just last week. Polaris finds his running back, Brady Oliveira. Oliveira takes it down inside the 30. It will be stopped a couple of yards shy of what they needed for a first down.
Take a hard look at this spot, see exactly where they are, because
it'll be about 2.5 here, I think.
Yeah, and plus territory. Michael Shea on the road will take the points and put his field goal team and Sergio Castillo out there.
Castillo is 11 up 12 rather, inside 40 so far this season, 85% overall. This one will be from 36, just inside the right hash, to put the visitors on the board first. Davison Sheen with the hold, and Castillo knocks it home. Blue Bombers with points on their opening drive of the ball game. Winnipeg leads 3-0. Shea Patterson about to go to work against the Winnipeg defense when we return to Friday Night Football on TSN. Shea Patterson, 1 win, 1 loss since taking over for the injured Trevor Harris.
Yeah, completing 62% of his passes and 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I think he's progressing nicely. That first win against Toronto, the loss against BC, maybe one of the hottest teams in the CFL with one of the hottest offenses in Vernon Adams. But you see progression with Shea Patterson.
17 of 25 for 278 yards and an interception in that loss to the BC Lions. A.J. Ouellette slide back over to his quarterback's right here. Fakes the handoff. Patterson moving out to his right on the run here. And he will pick up a couple of yards on first down after deciding just to stay away from Willie Jefferson there.
Well, we're going to watch this matchup. Willie Jefferson versus Jacob Brammer, who is replacing DeMarcus Hardrick on the corner or on the tackle position, and that's going to be interesting to see the youngster out of Vanderbilt replacing Oshie out there on the tackle spot against one of the best rush ends in the game's history. And the guy that he's been leaning on, and Patterson I'm talking about, has been Samuel Emlis.
Emlis, 161 yards in that last game. Bombers will bring 5. Patterson in the pocket, down the field, laying one out there. Oh, almost hauled in and out of the hands of Schaefer Baker. That would have been a big one early.
Well, it was there. You can't throw it much better. It was down the sideline, and Schaefer Baker has a shot at it. I'm not sure if Diedrich Nichols, who ends up, I think, dropping back with this in the zone look, and then it becomes man while you're down the field. Did he get a hand in there? No, it didn't. It went straight through his hands.
Opportunity missed there by Baker. Kicked away. Case takes it at his own 15. Nothing opens up, so he puts his head down and takes a 51-yard kick back to about his own 25. Brady Oliveira starting to get going here. No surprise that the Bombers have won 2 in a row with him going to work. Now, I'm not going to say you have to run the ball a lot with Brady Oliveira to win games, but it's worked out, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. They give him the ball more. He rushes for back-to-back games over 100 yards, and, oh, they win both.
Yeah.
The personality of this team is back.
Here's a stat you won't believe. Apparently, that's the first time in his career he's gone back-to-back games over 100 yards, which, with the season he had last year,
I know.
I tend to not believe those facts. Dembski has it batted away. Covered well by who else? Roland Milligan right there.
Yeah, I think that hit behind Dembski was timed up just right so that the ball bounced off of the shoulder pads. Here comes the hit from behind. He got his hand in there too. Just great instincts and not afraid to jump these routes, not afraid of the double move. And
not sure you can play that better.
Knockdown looked like it might have jammed his finger.
2nd and 10 for the Bombers from their own 26. 3 options out to the right for Kolaris. Now he's going to run to the right, looking down the field, comes across, body! Almost hauled in by Wolotarski, but it falls incomplete.
Dangerous pass when you go on a back against the flow like this. There is a flag in the backfield.
Holding. Winnipeg number 67. That penalty is declined. It will be 3rd down.
Chris Kolinkowski, the center on Micah Johnson, gets the holding call. They will decline that because that was incomplete. The Bombers will have to punt.
Jamison Sheen set to let it fly. Mario Alford dangerously lurking back at his own 30.
Who's due?
Oh,
very due.
It's about time, isn't it? Yeah. Contained so far this year with a low kick. Sheen just got that one away. A one-hopper. Alford takes it. Flag's already down as he tries to reverse it, but he is tripped up shy of his own 40.
During the return, illegal block. Saskatchewan number 8, 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Marcus Sales, the guilty party. Let's take a look at this Winnipeg D.
So Willie Jefferson versus Jacob Brammer out of Vanderbilt. Let's watch that matchup. They've got a newcomer opposite Jefferson in Taiwan Garbutt. Watch him. They finally think they have the replacement for Jackson Jeffcoat. Adam Bighill will try to keep it all together on that side of the ball. Of course, he is the leader. And boy, Tyrell Ford is really settling in that corner spot. Another interception for him against Calgary.
Camara Houston moving on, opening up an opportunity for Ford and making the most of it thus far. A.J. Oletz with a quick spin, and that'll get him about half of what they need on 1st down. Riders offense averaging 3.7 yards per carry. That's 9th in the league. Ouellette a little bit better than that. He's got 309 yards so far.
Yeah, it's been tough slugging to get the run game going for Saskatchewan offensively. Ouellette did have his longest run of the season versus the Lions in that loss last week. Only 27 yards, but his longest so far.
2nd and 5. Roulette out into the flat to the left of Patterson, who's throwing over the middle, down the field, drops it in there, just outside the 50, and it's Schaefer Baker. And the Riders offense has their first sign of life here tonight.
That right there is Adam Bighill. Adam Bighill's the middle linebacker coming up on a stunt. Now that Shea Patterson sees that, he knows he's got that middle opening behind him and puts nice touch on this to get it over the safety, Brandon Alexander, who was lurking down there trying to replace Adam Bighill. Maybe fool the young quarterback, didn't work with the touch pass.
Schaefer Baker now over 300 yards receiving on the campaign. A.J. Ouellette trying to find some space, broke one tackle, gets midfield, and not much more. Kyrie Wilson in his face there.
These two teams always play physical, and they have there's two tailbacks in this game. A.J. Ouellette that you're watching right now, and of course Brady Oliveira for the Bombers that are going to look for contact. They're not looking to make people miss, I don't think. I really don't think they are. I think deep down, all they're doing is getting the ball and looking for contact.
Hey, make that defense pay a price. Empty backfield here for Patterson, right over the middle again. Close to the first down marker. A big pop at the end of the play, but it's Schaefer Baker for the second time on this drive.
Yeah, he goes in behind. They get A.J. Ouellette out of the backfield, go down the seam, and in behind him is going to be Schaefer Baker, who's going to come down on that little slant right there. So you're going to see that's Ouellette going down to clear out, and underneath that is the route from Schaefer Baker right at the marker.
Bighill coming in to finish the job, but they do have enough for the first down. Patterson working from the Winnipeg 47. Another completion, another first down inside the 30. A steady dive through the air to Kean Schaefer Baker.
Bringing in a fullback in on the right side here, and Thomas Bertrand Hudon, who's going to get out in the flat and open up the curl a little bit more for Schaefer Baker and another first down. But I'm not surprised that they're going to maybe bring a little fullback help to Jacob Brammer on the edge at right tackle in his very first game.
Patterson looks comfortable early. He's got 52 yards through the air, down to the Winnipeg 25. Ouellette on the ground, up the middle, extra lunge ahead. Gets them down to the Winnipeg 20 on the edge of the red zone here.
Willie Jefferson's going to come off the edge and force the decision for Shea Patterson here. He's coming right here, and watch the decision that Shea Patterson has to make. If the defensive end goes to the quarterback, he's got to give it to A.J. Ouellette, and that's exactly where he went. He was going right to Shea Patterson, give it to Ouellette, let him take some inside yards.
2nd and 5 for the home side here. 3 options out to the right for Patterson. Looks that way, throws that way, has another completion. Ball pops out. Whistles blown down are going to rule it incomplete after the battle for the ball. 3rd and 5, and a field goal opportunity here for Brett Lothar.
Yes.
Ruling on the field was an incomplete pass.
Contact made, I think, first by Bonds, and then Nichols got in there, but Schaefer Baker never secured, according to the officials anyway, on this throw and catch. He never secured the ball long enough to make it a catch and a fumble. And it was recovered immediately, so if Michael O'Shea wanted to challenge this.
He's thinking about it, isn't he?
Winnipeg is challenging the previous play. They believe there was a fumble with immediate recovery by Winnipeg. The play will be reviewed.
And that's the key.
Might have a case here.
Yeah, and that's the key. Brandon Alexander recovered it immediately. If he doesn't, then you don't want to challenge because the ball just sat there.
Did he have it long enough?
Will it be clear and obvious?
We'll get an answer when we return. Command Center, over to you. First challenge of the game tonight was ruled incomplete on the field. Let's get to the official ruling.
Upon review by the command center, the ruling on the field stands as an incomplete pass. It is third down. Winnipeg doesn't have a challenge, and they lose a timeout.
Mike O'Shea now 3 wins and 2 losses in the challenge category this season.
Early in the game for a challenge, but we both saw what I think he saw. But I don't think there was any angle that was clear and obvious showing that that ball wasn't moving.
Father knocks one through, and we are tied at 3. I'd like to welcome our viewers on TSN 1 and 4 who just finished watching Ottawa at home make it 2 in a row against Edmonton. 2014, the final over there, and we are just settling in on a beautiful night at Mosaic. Bombers and Riders, a little bit of a rivalry game, of course, and it's tied at 3. Zach Collaros, 3 of 6 to start this ball game for 50 yards.
Well, it's great to see Zach Collaros. I mean, what a game it was. You did the game against Calgary, and both quarterbacks going crazy, and just good to see him get back on track, get the run game going, get Wilson involved, his new rookie receiver, and big game for him, over 300 yards, and threw a first touchdown pass.
Yeah, 344 yards last week for Zach. Let's take a look as Dembski gets nothing there.
Well, this is what we're used to. We're used to seeing them pound the ball, win the line of scrimmage, get up the field, and then get Zach out on the edge, get him moving around, get his receivers involved, and then he starts to beat you in so many different ways. As you mentioned, 344, his first touchdown throw of the season. They had one the week before, but that was Chris Trevor.
Terry Wilson with 1. Dembski with 1. 2nd and 9 here. 4-man pressure from the Riders. Collaros heaves one down the field. Wilson again, and that one broken up. And no flag. Milligan was working there against him.
They both looked to the official for a second, didn't they? They both did. I mean, this is a deep ball, and I think Milligan, who is going to be, ended up right there down the middle. This is good protection for Collaros. He goes down the middle on this seam route, and that look back by Roland Milligan, I think, kept the flag in the official's pocket.
I was waiting.
Well, there was a little push and contact, but he looked back like he was playing the ball, and DBs are allowed to do that.
Get his right hand on
exactly.
there as well. Collaros, though, looking to connect with Wilson for the first time tonight. Does not work. Nowhere to go on the return after a 48-yard kick. Busy times for Shea Patterson, now the starting quarterback of the Riders. More on that when we return to Mosaic. Well, look at Shea Patterson with his 2 favorite things in the world, his son and game film. For more on that arrival, let's send it down to Britt Dork.
A wild series of events for Shea Patterson. After getting his first win as a starting quarterback in the CFL, he hopped on the first flight out of here to try to make it back to Michigan in time for the birth of his first child. And he did it with 2 hours to spare as he and Jessica welcomed Carter Michael Joseph Patterson to the world on July 6th. I said to him, Shea, I can't imagine the adrenaline rush you had in that 48-hour span. He told me, Britt, it was the best weekend of my entire life.
Couple of big boxes checked there for Patterson, don't you think?
Wow, let's get started early.
Yeah,
on the game film.
The real miracle was making it on time.
What are you saying about travel these days?
No comment. 1st and 10 for the Riders from the 27. Pressure. He heaves it down the field. Had to. With a couple of bombers, including Willie Jefferson, right in his face, and a little bit of a grimace as he gets back to his feet.
Yeah, tons of pressure coming up top here. Really 4-man with the linebackers really hugging the line of scrimmage. So it wasn't an exotic blitz, but there was pressure off the edge without question from Owen Huber.
Huber doesn't have a sack yet this year, but he's got a couple of tackles for losses. 2nd and 10 for Patterson. 3-man pressure again. This time, thought about taking off. Now he does, looking for some space, lunges ahead, gets it out beyond the 35, but will be at least a yard shy of a first down.
Decision time here. Coach Mace is looking right at it. It's right in front of the Rider bench where the markers are.
They're going to go for it here, I think.
Just under 40 yards rushing in 2 starts for Shea Patterson. He's got some great speed when he does get out there and run. Looking at Trevor Harris there too, who is maybe ahead of schedule in his rehab.
He's like Wolverine. Incredibly fast healer. 3rd and 1, a big one too, from the Rider 36 to keep this drive alive. Patterson pushing ahead. Big Hill meets him right at the line of scrimmage, and this will be close.
It will be. He looked like he got a bit of a spot forward progress, but Adam Big Hill is a master at this. I mean, he is closing in on 1,000 defensive tackles in his career. They're giving him the first down, but Adam Big Hill made it a little nerve-wracking, I'm sure, for Coach Mace over there on the Saskatchewan sideline, because he timed up his jump. He does that so well to be at the top of his jump over the pile when the quarterback is arriving there.
Patterson got just enough. And that'll give them a fresh set on their own 37 here. 4 receivers out to his right. They'll hand it off to A.J. Ouellette, who picks his way ahead for about 5 yards on that first down carry.
Clearly, the Bombers defensively are looking at Shea Patterson as a real run threat outside, because that's the 3rd time in a row now on a play just like that Willie Jefferson has gone straight to Patterson. He's gone right up the field, straight to Patterson. So you're basically looking at the defensive end is not trying to take the back first. They're going to make them hand it off inside and let the interior of the D-line take care of it.
Look there at their
Jordan Younger, yeah.
Coordinator Jordan Younger. Patterson looks to his right, throws that direction, and that is broken up by Retta Cramsey as they're looking to go back to Schaefer Baker. That's his 6th target of the ball game.
Yeah, maybe a mismatch as far as height. Schaefer Baker at 6'4", trying to get him out there on Cramdy at 5'10". A nice play underneath that throw for number 6.
Patterson has attempted 7 throws. 6 of them have gone in the direction of Schaefer Baker. Cody Case waits for this, stands on his own 20. Korshak lets it fly. I'll hang up there for a bit. Case steps up, takes it at the 25. He's in trouble. Taken down almost immediately after a 43-yard kick. Roland Milligan. What doesn't he do? Man. Milligan.
Well, this is the toughest part too, and what's really quite remarkable is that Milligan leads his team in special teams tackles, 9 coming into this game tonight, but he has to do this, go down 45 yards, is basically a barroom brawl all the way down with the opponent, then he makes the tackle. Now he's got about 20 seconds to get his breath and get back there and play halfback in the short side of the field.
10th special team tackle of the season for Milligan. Brady Oliveira up the middle. His best carry of the ball game by far, and it's not easy to do against this Riders defense, but they end the first quarter with Brady Oliveira on the ground. Defensive battle between the Bombers and the Riders so far. Lawler and Castillo, the only players to find the scoreboard. Settle in. Friday Night Football second quarter action coming up on TSN. Welcome back to Mosaic, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. We are deadlocked at 3 through 15 minutes Anything stand out there for you?
Well, the importance of the game stands out for me. You know, time of possession, we'll keep an eye on that. But the importance of the game, when you think that the Bombers now 2 in a row, 2 wins in a row, they have a chance to get to 3 wins, and Saskatchewan sitting at 4 wins now. These two teams, of course, rivals. They'll play on Labor Day. They'll play the Banjo Bowl. So there's lots of football to be played between the two. But you know, the Bombers can get right back in it, back in the fight, and that's why this game is so important.
Or that little bit of breathing room for the Riders. And to accomplish that while you wait for Trevor Harris to return would be a very big accomplishment for this group. A group that's been so good defensively all year. And probably take a defensive battle here against the Bombers if they can.
That's a good point. I think if the quarterback can start 3, you take a defensive battle.
Oliveira on the ground again, and he was tackled immediately. C.J. Rivas gave him no room.
Yeah, really canceling the gaps. The gaps are the spaces between the offensive linemen. You can see all those black jerseys. I mean, I hope you can see them, but you can see all the black jerseys right in the hole, cutting down Brady Oliveira.
No comment on the numbers from the booth.
Cool jerseys, I get it. The kids love
neat.
it.
Up close, they look terrific. Claris dumps it over the middle. Oliveira turns, pushes ahead, and he'll be about a yard shy of a first down. So a decision on the other side here. And Chris Strevler, no hesitation onto the field for Winnipeg.
Yeah, right in front of the Bombers, and Mike O'Shea can see it. He knows exactly where the ball was put down, and it's inside of a yard. But you know what's remarkable about the really good backs? They always get tackled forward. So it's another yard and a half to fall forward and not get rocked back and go backwards.
Strevler for the first time today. The look from above. Strevler finds the space. Deontay Williams on the tackle, but a first down Winnipeg.
How about that look? Most teams will call this short yardage play the wedge. They'll call it the wedge formation, and you saw from that last angle, awesome angle, right from above to take a look at where Strevler was dealing with and what gap he might try to hit. He went off the left side between guard and tackle, hit by the DB, Deontay Williams, but that was a interesting angle to see the wedge in action.
Deontay Williams playing that boundary side with Milligan, also having a nice year. A couple of interceptions for him already. Polaris near side. Johnson grabs it, tackled immediately by DeMarcus Fields.
Liam Dobson right over there to pick up his teammate. Nice little timing out with Zach Collaros on the roll to that side. So a high percentage throw to get it out to Johnson and get a real workable second down.
Yeah, just 3 yards here opens things up a little bit for Winnipeg. Crowd of Mosaic trying to get in the head of Zach Collaros. Oliveira, pretty big hole. He's got a first down inside the Rider 50.
Not anything real fancy about this offensive line road grading here, but they win the battle in the trenches. I mean, just pushing that D-line back. Riders have been excellent against the run coming in. I mean, first in the league, under 50 yards a game.
47.4, that's it.
Yeah, but that Bomber O-line won that one.
Third tackle of the game for Jameer Thurman. Oliveira, 21 yards on 4 carries. To go back to him again.
That's more like what they've been doing.
Suffocated at the line this time. Corte Moore and Miles Brown with the double team.
Yeah, this time you're going to take the gaps, be disciplined upfield, and this time, so you give that last down to the Bombers O-line. Line of scrimmage won by the Riders this time, and Miles Brown led the way.
Loss of about half a yard on the play.
Those guys in the interior take pride in that run defense.
Second and 11 for Collaros. Riders will bring 5. Zach gets it away just in time. Wide open far side. Bounces up and knocked away. Milligan again. And he remains down on the field, slow to get up.
Out there at that wideout spot, just a little curl and go, but Milligan is playing in the deep outside third of the field, so he was right there allowing the receiver to get down the field in Wilson. That wasn't a busted coverage. That was designed to run right to the deep guy. Now Milligan is still down. That's... Ooh. Look at Terry Wilson land right on his gut. Hopefully he's just got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah.
But
that's Milligan's 3rd knockdown already in this ball game. And you know, he got hurt last year after a real nice start to the season for the team as well. And
there he is. He's
very
good.
much missed him, but
Just
round of
winded.
applause.
Winded. Another big play. Like that's how you play the outside third. You play back, the ball goes in the air, you're watching the quarterback's throwing action, and then fly to the football.
Close, eh?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure we'll see him back on as we go sit for a few plays. 57-yard attempt here for Sergio Castillo. Hit from 57 last week, hit from 60 earlier in the season. This one, a bomb from straight away from 57 for Castillo, and the lead that is up, and he's got it again. Sergio Castillo, automatic from way downtown, and the Bombers go on top 6-3.
Let's take another look at Mr. Long Range Castillo with a hold nice here from Jamison Sheehan, the punter, who puts it on the grass, not even a tee under this ball. And you mentioned, Dustin, a 60-yarder this year, a couple 57-yarders this year. And keep in mind the pressure on a kicker now when you got a guy like Mario Alford.
Oh, yeah.
If you miss this field goal and that far out, that's a returnable ball in a big way.
Castillo is now 5 of 6 from beyond 50 this year. Emelis for the first time in the ball game from Patterson. First down, Riders.
That's a great throw in the roll by Shea Patterson. He had to change his launch angle here. He was in a bit of a run and kind of faded away from this throw, but the accuracy bang on there on a great throw. I think he's shown great progression, Patterson, over the last couple of games. I know he won one and lost one, but against the Lions, they had a couple of busts in the coverage, and he recognized it in just his second start.
1st and 10 from their own 52. Big Hill's going to bring some pressure. Patterson gets it away. Sean Bain makes a couple of men miss. Still going. Bain down to the 35 before he's finally tackled on the play.
Put Sean Bain in the spotlight here for this little hitch pass and watch him go to work. There he catches it there, little nice inside cut, and then back to the numbers, inside move there. Cromdy will finally get him down, but big run after the catch for Bain.
Patterson closing in on 100 yards passing here in the first half. This time on the ground, Oletz wrapped up quickly by Kyrie Wilson.
What I mean about the way Shea has progressed is that, when, you know, often in your second start, even your second year as a starter, the defense can make some mistakes. They can have a bust in the secondary, and you won't see it because you're locked into either one or maybe your second read. But, you know, Mark Mueller, the offensive coordinator here, has done a nice job of how he plays calls to keep the confidence high for Shea Patterson. He's got the great resume. We know he's played on the big stage before in college football.
2nd and 9 here. Bouncing around the pocket. Now he's going to take off. Throwing it down the field. Almost one-handed. Oh, that would have been something special. Schaefer Baker couldn't haul it in.
You know, and this is, again, the composure in the moment. Watch Shea Patterson here. Now, this isn't completed, but the pocket's starting to collapse, so he bounces outside, keeps his eyes down the field. He's throwing against the flow, but he's got a guy wide open in behind coverage in Schaefer Baker, and just misses.
Might have been able to run for the first down, but once Baker got in behind the defender,
well, it's a big play.
You're
looking
thinking,
at it,
yeah, exactly. You're looking at a touchdown possibly there. $41-yarder for Brett Lawford to tie this game at 6, just inside the right hash. And he makes no mistake. Teams exchanging field goals here in the second quarter as we wait for the offenses to explode. Well, as far as breakout games go, 13 catches for 201 yards and a touchdown. Pretty darn good. For more on Ontario Wilson, let's send it down to Britt Dork.
And do you know what's funny, Dustin? When I asked him and Claros and head coach Mike O'Shea about his performance last week, they all said, yeah, we knew he was having a good game, but we didn't realize how good he was until afterward when we looked at how wild those stats were. But Wilson remained very modest about it, saying, well, I have to continue and have a great game again, so people know it's not just a fluke. But did say a lot of people had been reaching out to him all week. A lot of fans, a lot of family, former coaches, and although his nickname is Pokey, given by his grandmother, I would say, Dustin, the best one when they said they should call him Manitoba Wilson.
Ah, yeah, that was a great one. I saw that on Twitter. Manitoba Wilson. It makes sense. Another tackle there from Jameer Thurman on Brady Oliveira. Well, Terry Wilson has no catches yet tonight.
No, and what he's done, though, is he's brought the speed to the lineup. I mean, he can fly. He can get in behind coverage. He can push the coverage deep so that guys underneath, like Drew Wolotarski, can run their routes. Nick Dembski can run their routes, some crossers, things like that. Like we opened the first drive with Josh Johnson on that crosser. Similar plays like that. When you've got a speed guy that can take the top off the defense, you got a chance for that underneath stuff.
Bombers 2 for 7 on second down. Riders the same on the other side. Polaris leads 7 here. Far side of the field, drops it in. And that is caught. One tackle broken. Clercius using his big body over there. He'll be stopped short.
Yeah, but I would suggest for Clercius, a young player out there on the right at the sideline. He's going to run this right at the marker, basically. Now, if he just backs up, almost just backs straight up to the marker, he might get it. He's looped back, lost 2 more yards.
Like catching back pedal?
Yeah, just catch it there. You have to come back to make the catch, but once you do, catch it back up a couple steps and then just turn into that first down marker.
Third down and a couple here. Jamison Sheen out to kick it away. Not going to risk it with Strevler this time. Alford casually trots over, takes it at the 15. 49-yard kick gets returned just outside the 20 on a picture-perfect day and night in Regina. Well, prior to the game down on the field here at Mosaic, they weren't messing around, were they?
Floyd Enns has command of the huddle here. She's going to launch one to the corner route, give it a shot. That's knocked down, didn't complete it, but our bug guy, Mike Thomas, is coaching him up down there. That was before the game. Think about this. You can go back to your childhood. Take you back just before kickoff of a pro game in Saskatchewan. You get a chance to go on the turf and chuck the ball around with your team. I mean, fans for life, number one.
Yeah.
Secondly, you're on the same field as these guys right now.
Well, my kids just love going on the field after the game.
Yeah,
they think
exactly.
That's the greatest thing in the world.
I still have Jim Young's chin strap from back in Empire Stadium in Vancouver when I was the same age as Floyd.
Really?
And got a chance to run after the game. Went and talked to Jim Young, Dirty 30, we called him back then. And he kneeled down, gave me his chin strap, which I still have to this day.
That's cool. Lots of kids in attendance here. Not many kids in Pill Country. You saw the party started down behind the end zone.
Different party, different thing.
2nd and 7 here for Patterson. with time right over the middle, and that's going to be awfully close to a first down. Back to Schaefer Baker. Boy, it's 8th target of the game.
I'm not sure if this is game planned or if this is Shea Patterson just taking him to Schaefer Baker, because it's not just been the same sort of routes. It's been deep routes. Had that deep one down the sideline that he dropped early in the game in the first quarter, and a lot of different looks, but same target.
Bain has 1 catch. Emilus has a catch. Schaefer Baker with the other 4 so far for Patterson, who's at 96 yards through the air. 3 options out to his left here. Fakes the handoff. He's in a little bit of trouble. Nice move to get around Willie. Looks down the field, throws down there, and that is incomplete. Flag on the far side, though, right after he let it go, trying to find his running back, A.J. Ouellette.
Well, that was just an outstanding move on one of the great defensive ends in the game, in Willie Jefferson, who's been going upfield to try and cut Shea Patterson off every single opportunity he's had like this.
Defensive holding, Winnipeg number 19. This will be a 10-yard penalty and a first down.
We got to get Andre a lozenge down there.
You were right about that. I was going to mention that. Willie's pointing himself right here. That's Jefferson up at the top of your screen, and he's been doing this all game long, going straight high to the quarterback, not playing that run necessarily, going up high. Patterson has to back off and then makes a miss, but over in the middle of the field was the holding by Kyrie Wilson.
Schaefer Baker is down on a knee, being looked at by the training staff right now as well. You saw him grimace after that last catch he had on the far sideline, and maybe this is a carryover from that. Let's take another look at the holding penalty.
There he is, right to the right of your screen. Kyrie Wilson's got a little bit of holding on the up move by A.J. Ouellette there. Oh no, that was very little.
A.J. Ouellette with a big burst right up the middle, all the way down to midfield. This was almost a bobbled snap, I believe, as well, but Patterson did a great job to tuck it in there, and Ouellette did the rest.
I won't harp on it, but I think there's Bomber fans that weren't real happy with the call, with that call on Kyrie Wilson. But this, moving on, is A.J. Ouellette getting that run game going. Again, they've been playing with fullbacks in there to help out the offensive line. We've got 2 rookie tackles playing.
41 yards for Ouellette. Patterson gets this one away near side, and that's hauled in right at the 45. Back to Emilus for the second time in the ball game.
Now, it's been a real hot day here in Saskatchewan. Humid day. There was a thunder shower way before the game, 2-3 hours before the game. I'm wondering if Schaefer Baker may be cramping up. He's been targeted 20 times.
I'm wondering, is your air conditioning working at the hotel? Mine wasn't. I was a sweaty mess all day.
Oh, mine's working. And no, you can't sleep on my couch.
Second half of our doubleheader, we got a 6-6 tie. We'll break it all down. Plus, Paul LaPolice is here. You know what that means. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
It is the time of La Police.
No. It's the sound of the LaPolice.
It is the sound.
I'm just confused. I don't know what's happening.
Well, we're going to have to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be good, though. 2nd and 4 here for Patterson. 4 options out to his right here. Bombers are going to bring some heat. Gets it away. There's a flag. The pass is completed. Would be enough for a first down, but there's a flag on the near sideline here. Pass was to Bain.
Offside. Saskatchewan number 19. 5-yard penalty will replay second down.
Emilus called on the offside.
Yeah, they saw the blitz. The receiving corps saw the blitz just like Patterson did, knew they couldn't block it all, so they had to get it out of there quick, and Emilus just was a little ahead of the snap.
Second and 9 now for Patterson. Pressure coming, hit as he throws down the field. Patterson, though, got folded up. Bounces right back up, though. And that's good to see for Riders fans.
See Taiwan Garbutt, the defensive end, playing opposite with a real nice bull rush to get to Shea Patterson. Got to be careful not to hit him too low. I think that was a clean hit, not a penalty, but right on the border.
Horsack, a couple of guys on side will lay this one out there. Case grabs it just inside the 10. A little bit of a burst before he runs into a wall of Riders just outside his own 20. With 2.5 minutes remaining on the clock. Huge game on Sundays. We're heading to Calgary as they will honor Ollie Buono, throw him on the Wall of Fame.
Working there with Doug Flutie. There's Dave Dickinson, a very young-looking Dave Dickinson. Worked with Jeff Garcia. Casey Printers. Remember Casey Printers back in the day? And this is a 5-time Grey Cup champion as a head coach, 4-time coach of the year, 3 of those championships with the Calgary Stampeders, and they will honor Wally Buono on Sunday.
Is 282 wins good?
Yeah,
I think so.
That's as good as it gets.
Brady Oliveira with a decent chunk on first down here as Collaros has a ton of clock to work with late. And remember, Castillo's range is whatever the heck he wants right now. I think I saw Derek Taylor, who's standing just next to us here up in the broadcast booth. I think I saw he tweeted practice this week. Castillo was hitting from like 63, 65. So in an absolute zone right now as he paces the sideline. Riders will try to get this ball back instead. Collaros in trouble. Can't get rid of it, and now it's taken down. Riders defense gets there. Malik Carney, his first sack of the season, comes at just the right time for the Riders.
Stunt action here. Carney playing opposite Lanier and getting some help, I think, from a push from Micah Johnson, but he's going to keep working around. There's Micah Johnson right in his face, and that gives that extra second.
Illegal
See how Johnson
contact
jumped up?
receiver, Saskatchewan number 24.
Oh, boy.
10-yard penalty will result in a first down.
And that's a little bit of a late flag. Everybody had already kind of gone on the field. Bain and Emilus were going, or Alford and Emilus were going back to return the kick. Let's pick it up.
Playing corner up at the top. I don't know about that. You know, at the end of the day, that's one each.
Yeah, I would say that. Not to say makeup call, but
Kyrie Wilson, it's not a makeup call, but that's one each of marginal penalty.
Well, Collaros, I know it doesn't matter, but Collaros is way over here on the other side of the field. As a push up the far side, first down, and all of a sudden Winnipeg, 1:52 on the clock, ton of time, and nearing midfield.
Well, it's a call that very likely affects points. You're almost in Castillo range now. Those legs churning after that first tackle attempt, but Zach Collaros now lots of time and could think about more than a field goal, of course, with that much time left.
27 yards on the ground for Brady. Empty backfield this time for Collaros. On the run, down the field, and that falls incomplete. Was looking for Wolotarski, who was covered relatively well on the play. Marcus Sales working against him.
Important second down here, too, for both teams. I mean, a chance for the Bombers on the road to get in at least field goal range, take a lead in at halftime. And a stop here. I'm not going to say it keeps it out of Castillo range, but see what happened to Zach Collaros.
2nd and 10. Oliveira. Oh, heavy collision. Right at midfield. Wow. C.J. Avery laying the business on Brady Oliveira. Castillo is going to attempt one from 61 yards. We said it, he's hit from 60. He's hit 2 from 57, including one tonight. This will be one of the longest in the history of the league. Castillo left hash from 61 yards with Murray Alford waiting back by the end zone. That kick is on, and it is short. Alford bumped into an official, takes the ball in the end zone, now brings it up the near sideline, trying to find some space. He will not, he'll be forced out of bounds. Wow, a 61-yard attempt from Castillo. Comes up a couple of yards shy.
Well, now we know where number 14's range is at. It's 60. 61 is too far. Looks like he might have got under it a little bit because it did fall short. He's got more leg than this. We've seen him make it from 60. We've seen him make it from 57. And the concern for Winnipeg on those long ones, of course, is Alford, but they covered it well.
They did a good job getting down the field, yep. So 1st and 10 for Patterson. 72 seconds to work. Starting on his own 30 here. Can he give Lother an attempt before the end of the opening half? 4-man rush. Patterson stays in the pocket. Now he's in a little bit of trouble. Takes off. There's a hold for sure. As he took that outside. One of the big fellas a little overzealous. And this will be coming back.
Holding. Saskatchewan, number 51. 10-yard penalty. Will replay 1st down.
That's Godber, the center.
Late in the play, I mean, Patterson had gone through all of his reads. I mean, he went through the progression, look it to the right, looks over the middle, doesn't like that, saw the check down, that was covered there, and then he took off. By that time, somebody's holding somebody.
Nice footwork in the pocket from Patterson so far this evening. Let's nowhere to go. Wilson right there. That's his 4th tackle of the ball game, team high.
Another big hit. This is a physical game. This first half has been.
They're banging out there, aren't they?
It's funny because they've been hitting the way they've been hitting, and then they've got a penalty each where they didn't hit anybody and got a penalty for it. So it was weird.
Second and a long 18 for Patterson. He's going to be under pressure again on the run. Intercepted near sideline, but there's a flag on the field. Terrell Bonds takes it away for the Bombers. But what is this flag? Looks of confusion on the field here.
Holding. Winnipeg, number 9. This is a 10-yard penalty. Will replay 2nd down.
Garbutt up on the inside rush. Now Patterson's going to get outside. We lose him on the left side of your screen there, but I think there was.
He held A.J. Ouellette. 2nd and 8 for the Riders from their own 32. Nichols won't allow this to go anywhere. Garbutt comes over to help him out after the pass was completed to Sean Bain. And Korsak will be forced to kick this away right near the end of the second quarter.
Likely getting instructions from Corey Mace to let that clock run down once they whistle it in.
Cody Case slides back to return this. 25-year-old out of Illinois, spent 4 seasons at South Dakota as well. Clock will tick down here. Korsak takes it, gets it away. Brian Cole almost got home there. Case will take it with zeros on the clock. At the 30. And he will be wrapped up and taken down. And we have a 6-6 tie. A real physical battle here between the Bombers and Riders.
Yeah, and it is that defensive struggle that you talked about. But I think Shea Patterson's numbers would be better if not for a few drops. I mean, an early one that was a deep ball, a couple that were very catchable.
Jameer Thurman's got a team-high 5 tackles. He's with Britt Dort.
Jameer, you guys talked this week about getting Zach uncomfortable out there. So how do you evaluate the defensive performance in the first half?
I think that we did a pretty good job. On second and long, we got to be able to get off the field. We got to put our offense in better field position. But I think we just got to build on the first half.
Well, seeing how close this game is, what's going to be important in those final 2 quarters?
Turnovers. That's going to be the difference maker in this game. Who's going to be the first one to create a big turnover, create that spark for the offense.
Thanks so much, Jameer. Have a good second half. We'll send it back to Kate and the panel.
And that panel would be Enoch Mwamba, Davis Sanchez, Jim Barker. And we've got ourselves a 6-6 ball game. And as JB would say, it's a good old-fashioned slobber knocker.
Yes,
We're loving the
That's the way
physicality
it
of
has
this
to be.
game. The defenses, the lines have been great so far. And honestly, that has to be the storyline of the first half. Chance.
Yeah, and Jameer said it. Thurman said it. It's going to be turnovers. They're going to be key in this game. You're seeing great defensive performance. You're seeing physical play. And that's really, I expected more from Winnipeg offensively. They're out of their 6 drives in the first half. 3 of them were 2 and outs. Let's give credit to Sask right here. There's Milligan again. Is that 3 pass breakups in the first half? Milligan is all over the place. And then you saw the front. And you love this front. I know Enoch and Sask and what they're doing. Yep. I love their back end. And then you saw a combination of both getting after Zach in the first half. And then, again, flying around C.J. Rivas, rookie, 5'11", 230 from Louisville. That's like in the Enoch weight category there. Little short, squatty kind of guy. Short. Okay, I mean, you're short, not short compared to me. But anyway, physical play in the first half. And really, looking at these offenses, it's going to be turnovers are the key. And for Saskatchewan, he's got to make plays. Shea's got to make plays with his legs. That's the only way I see them moving the ball.
Man, this is the type of game you want to watch, you want to hear, actually. You close your eyes and you kind of listen to the pads hitting. Ooh, I sound like a linebacker, don't I? But you watch this game, you look at Shea Patterson.
That head, you look like one, too.
When he's extending the plays, this is when they've been able to be successful here. He goes through the pocket and allows to extend the plays and buys time for his receivers and rushes also for first down yardage. They're going to have to do a little bit more of that if they want to be successful against this defense in Winnipeg that is playing extremely well right now, restricting them. And one other thing that I think they got to do on offense, especially for Saskatchewan, they have to be able to hand the ball off to A.J. Ouellette so they can get first downs. They did it a few times. He got a few first downs, but they got to do a little bit more of that.
Both lines on the defensive side are playing well, which means the offensive lines are struggling. We've had a few runs. A.J. Ouellette had a few runs. Oliveira had 2 runs. You're going to see one of them right here where he's going to be able to pick his way through. But that Saskatchewan defense has played so solid. That penalty that got called right in the fourth, right before Sergio's 61-yard field goal attempt, where it was away from the way he was. And you know what? Maybe but I was so glad that field goal didn't go, because that should not decide the game. The players should. And it was a great play by the defensive front of Saskatchewan to get to Zach, and to have it taken away by a guy on the other side of the field having really nothing to do with the play. And so, like I say, for me, I think justice prevailed.
Whenever you could put pressure without blitzing, you're in good shape as a defense.
And look, I want to say you're a tremendous athlete and a physical specimen. I'm sorry if I called you short.
You just saw what happened between him him and Milt, right? You didn't want to get
I don't want
involved
none of that.
in
I was just saying.
I understand what you're doing here, Jess.
Was
Smart
he
man.
challenging me?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Great first half.
Through the roughest times, I remain the blood, the sweat, the hurt, the pain. If I fall, the fault is mine. To blame, I get up and tough. What I became, I go hard, 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 hard. I go hard, 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 hard. I go hard, 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 hard. I go hard, 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 hard.
All right, we got another great games coming up in Week 7 in the CFL. Saturday, you can see the Argonauts taking on the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Toronto has won 6 straight meetings with Hamilton. Pre-game at 6:30 Eastern, that one. Then it all wraps up on Sunday. The BC Lions in Calgary to take on the Stampeders. And Wally Buono being honored in this one, the 50th member of the Wall of Fame after leading the team to one of the greatest runs in CFL history. With more on Wally and someone who knows him quite well, Paul LaPolice in Coach's Playbook.
I know him very well because he beat me in a Grey Cup in the 2011 season. You see there, it's me. I'm helping him get to all his wins, some of his wins in the 2011 Grey Cup. But Coach's Playbook tonight, we are going to congratulate Pasquale Wally Buono. And started his coaching career in 1982 with the Montreal Junior Concords, all the way to the wing as coach in CFL history. Let's talk about his Calgary time. 6 Grey Cup appearances, 3 wins. Amazing. This stat blows my mind, though. 11 out of 12 seasons finished first or second in the Canadian Football League West Division, and obviously made the playoffs every one of those years. Now, I had the opportunity to talk to John Hufnagel today, and I asked him about something a lot of people don't understand about Wally Buono. He said how he helped bring the spread offense around. Hufnagel said Edmonton gave him a lot of trouble. He said, hey, why don't you try some of these one-back plays? One back started. Hufnagel said, all right, I'll try to do that. Put Doug Flutie, 5 receivers. The modern spread happens, what everybody runs nowadays. I will say this from a coaching standpoint. Huff talked about he developed quarterbacks, Jeff Garcia, Doug Flutie, Henry Burris, Dave Dickinson. From a coaching standpoint, all these guys were head coaches. John Hufnagel, Jeff Tedford, George Cortez, Jim Daly, Mike Benavides, and now Dave Dickinson. So an amazing coaching tree. And I asked Wally about one of the things that Wally always talked about. The neat thing about this week is the first person he talked about was Roy Shivers. Okay, Roy Shivers, excuse me. Bringing the players in, and then he talked about the coaches and the administrators he worked with were amazing. Then he finished with the players. He said the players are the reason we won games. The players are why we were successful. Once again, a sign of a great leader is somebody who deflects, takes all the blame and deflects all the praise. So I've got my T-shirt here that was sent to us. So hopefully Sunday, you see it right there, my Wally T-shirt right there. All right. Make sure, I hope Sunday you have a great day, you and your family, Wally, and enjoy going on the Wall of Fame.
It wasn't just T-shirts that were sent our way. It's also the Wally Buono bobblehead.
Well deserved. Well deserved, Coach. Love you, Coach.
Hi, Jimmy.
A long way to go in this one as we are tied at 6 with the second half looming. A couple of field goals for Sergio Castillo, including one from 57. He's with Art Brickdorf.
All right, Sergio, 61 yards would have been tough for anyone, but you still have been very clutch for this team the last few games and tonight. How do you get it done out there with these long ones?
For me, obviously, just relying on Benson and Jams, right? And Osh giving me the confidence and my faith. My faith is real big, right? And you had mentioned before, you know, who am I kicking for this year? And it's honestly, it's for my niece, Sophia, that she's going through, she has leukemia back home, you know, in Amarillo. So Every kick that I do is for her, you know, and she's shown a big strength for our family as well, right? So, saludos, Sofia, te quiero mucho. And she's, like I said, she's the reason that, you know, that gives me that extra strength.
Well, our thoughts are with you, and we wish you all the best here. Thanks so much.
Saludos.
Tough story, but a real nice thought process there from Sergio Castillo on what his niece is going through.
Well, this game very well may come down to a field goal to win it. And Sophia, we're thinking about you.
This game coming down to a field goal would not surprise anyone. Not much separating these two clubs so far in this game. Alford trying to get loose. He'll hang on to the ball. He's forced out of bounds just outside the 40. Schaefer Baker is, we've just been told, ruled out for the rest of the game. Lower body injury. He had 8 of the 14 targets in the first half from Shea Patterson. Sorry, upper body injury for Schaefer Baker.
Well, either way you go, upper body, lower body, the club is not deliberately not telling you.
It's an overall body injury.
It's a body injury, yeah. And we saw him come out slowly in the first half, right at the end of that first half. So well, the hope was, I was mentioning, it was a hot and humid day here in Saskatchewan, and maybe it was a cramp, but looks like he'll be done for the rest of this game. So we'll see who Shea Patterson starts to lean on now that Schaefer Baker's not there, because you mentioned all his targets in that first half.
Yeah, he got over 50% of the targets. His feltmate walks off, kind of holding his right arm here. Decent field position to start for the Riders. This will be on their own 40. Both offenses having a hard time against some defenses making some pretty big plays so far. I thought Jameer Thurman at the end of the first half made a really good point. This game could certainly come down to the turnovers.
Yep.
Joe into the game for Schaefer Baker.
But will he be in Schaefer Baker's spot? Because if he is, you better be ready to see the ball.
3 options out to the right for Patterson. They're going to run it with A.J. Ouellette. Made one man miss. Tracked down from behind. Ball popped out, but the Riders have it. And it'll be second and manageable here.
A good quick beat for a power runner in the hole to make a couple guys miss and pick up good yards. This is one way they can start to try and win the battle of the line of scrimmage. You heard the panel talk about how the defenses on both sides are winning that battle in the first half, and to try and get a little traction there, they got to run the ball a little more.
They need 3 more. Back to Ouellette again. Now he's not going to get it. Not even sure he got back to the line of scrimmage. Kyrie Wilson was all around it. 5th tackle of the game. He leads his team in that category.
Yeah, Kyrie Wilson just shot the gap here. I mean, they're going with a bigger lineup again. The Riders trying to run the ball and with 3 downs to go, and look at them take on the block, shed the block, and then step up with a great tackle in the backfield.
An early punt. 2 and out for the Riders to start the second half. Korshak knocks it over to the near side. Case takes it there, and he's knocked out of bounds before he can get back to the 35. Zach Collaros, 10 of 16, 91 yards in the first half. What'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, not like the Calgary game. Every game's a different journey, so he's going to have to try and see what adjustments need to be made against this Saskatchewan defense. Again, both defenses dominant in the first half. Collaros went 10 of 16, 91 yards. Didn't throw the interception, though, and that's what Jameer Thurman was talking about. Who flinches first when it comes to that turnover?
Winnipeg starts the half on their own 32. Brady Oliveira, can he find room? Just a little bit. Out to about the 35 and no further.
You know, this defense that Corey Mace has put together, we talked about Roland Milligan in the first half. They're on pace now for 40 interceptions. I know it's way early for paces, especially in the interception department, but last year this team had 15. They were right down at the bottom of the league. in taking the ball away, and that was one of the reasons they struggled. This team is creating turnovers, creating interceptions. Zach Clarus is a veteran. He knows how important it is.
He needs 7 yards here down the field. Oh! Milligan almost had number 5. He can't believe it. Of all the guys you'd think would haul one in this year.
That's the intended target out there in that number 2 spot, and I believe it's Wilson with the speed on that dig route. He got a little soft on that cut. He looked like it was Zach Clarus was expecting a 90 cut, and he kind of turned the corner, but right through the hands of Milligan. That would have been number 5, and trying to gain a little distance on Roberson for the league lead.
4th knockdown of the night for Milligan, but you know he wanted the INT on that one. Now here's Alford. Can he find a little bit of space? Back to the 35. And no further for Super Mario. Milligan all over the field. Wants that one back though. CFL on TSN does not stop as the Argos head to the Hammer to take on the Ticats tomorrow at 7 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on TSN. 6:30 pregame will get us started. Big one there for the Ticats, no doubt.
Yeah, no question. Trying to look for that first win.
Edmonton unable to do so tonight out in Ottawa. Riders from their own 36. Patterson will keep it. He's got a tight room. First down. A little bit more midfield before he's stripped up by Cramdy, and Alexander helps him finish it off. Nice play call there from the Riders.
It really is. They bring the left side of their offensive line, sort of pull them. And when they pull that side, it looked like it might be just sort of a running play that way, and that's what fooled the Bomber defense. He just took off with a huge running lane up the middle.
He's got a very intriguing skill set, doesn't he?
Well, I think without a couple of drops in the first half, he's at 150, 170.
Yeah.
Can run.
Up to the Winnipeg 43. This time, A.J. Ouellette. No breathing room there. Back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. That's all.
You know, Shea Patterson was coached by Jim Harbaugh at Michigan and went to 2 bowl games with him. And guy who knows how to bring along and has a lot of really good quarterbacks, and Shea's one of them. Played again on the big stage in college football, so it's not too big for him, certainly. There's going to be ups and downs. He's young, and that Bomber defense still has enough veterans in it that can fool him every now and then.
Patterson over the middle, got rid of it quickly. That's complete for a first down for the Riders. Joe is first of the game.
Plays with great confidence, the JoJo. To the right of your screen, and Patterson is going to knife this one in nicely. Little look off. That's what I mean about beyond his years. I mean, that might be a small thing, but when you look to your left like that when you're dropping back, you can hold the linebacker and give your receiver just a split second more time.
Down to the Winnipeg 42. Patterson looks to his left, throws to his left, going up and down. It's hauled in just inside the 25. Aju again.
Boy, it's infectious, isn't it? He has fun, doesn't he? I thought he broke the huddle on this play with a huge smile on his face. He got out there. He must have known he was the primary, and look at him go up and rip that down.
A little bit of hang time there. Little stumble from home opened him up. 22-year-old having some fun out there for the Riders.
Gotta have fun.
Now down to the Winnipeg 23. Patterson again down to the 15 this time. It's Emelis as he finds another Canadian receiver, and he's able to hang on.
Good protection up front for Shea Patterson here. Just four-man pressure.
Eight to Emelis. They need 2 more for a first down. Working from the Winnipeg 15. Patterson will keep it to the end zone. His first CFL touchdown.
I mentioned the fullbacks have been coming in to play a little tight end. I'm sure it's because of the young tackles that this offensive line is playing with in this game tonight for Saskatchewan. So Ratkovich comes in at that fullback spot, lines up as a tight end, and the Bombers don't count.
Just his second catch of the season. And this one puts his team up by 6. Lother knocks it home, and it's a 7-point lead for the home side. Ratkovich caps off a 6-play, 74-yard touchdown drive with his first CFL major.
Clint Ratkovic playing right over here at the tight end spot, and he's going to just sneak out of here on the snap of the ball and run that little corner route. And the Bombers on 2nd and 3 are all tuned in to A.J. Ouellette, thinking that the Riders are going to run the football. They don't. Wide open. The fullback slash tight end, Ratkovic, Northern Illinois. That's a man right there, baby. Those guys do a lot of blocking and a lot of heavy lifting for guys like A.J. Ouellette. That's why it's fun to go over there and congratulate your teammate.
I'd like to see him get one. Second passing touchdown of the season for Patterson. Case on the return. Decent burst at the end. Takes it out just shy of his own 35. Now Zach Collaros takes the field, trailing by 7 for the first time tonight. He's 10 of 17 for just 91 yards. And Ontario Wilson, who had over 200 yards on 13 catches, does not have a catch yet in this ballgame.
But in situations like this, Nick Dembski becomes the guy.
Nick Dembski, just 1 catch so far in the game. Collaros has a completion far side. It's Brady Oliveira. That's his team leading 6th reception of the ball game.
I just think when, they really need to kickstart their offense, Oliveira is going to be part of it for sure. But Nick Dembski is the guy who can run so many different routes. You can even run him on the fly sweep if you want to run a conservative type play. Run him on that fly sweep. He gets the edge. He gets the corner. You fake the inside handoff to Oliveira. Get number 10 on the wide look, and he'll make something happen.
Bombers just 3 for 11 on 2nd down. Can they get one here? No, they're going to be stopped short again. Attacking the middle of this Riders defense does not appear to be working.
Michael O'Shea taking a long look at this one.
Strevler's, he's waiting. And they are going to bring in Chris Strevler on 3rd and 2. 3rd and 1.5, maybe.
We'll go the wedge. This is a long yard. They lose the snap count, too, with this crowd noise.
Strevler looking to take care of business here. Pushing ahead. Oh, boy, that's going to be close. Well, they say he got it. That was a quick ruling on that far side.
What I mean by that is, when the crowd goes nuts, this happens in Winnipeg, too, when any team plays over there. You run this wedge, the snap count, the offense knows the defense has to wait until movement. But in this kind of, when you can't hear the snap count, Strevler would move his hand to take the ball, and they have to they lose a split second on their get off.
15 for 15 on 3rd and short. this year are the Bombers. Collaros with the ball back in his hands. Hit as he throws. Gets Oliveira pushing ahead. And it'll be second and a yard or two for the Bombers as they look to answer that touchdown from Saskatchewan.
Collaros was real slow to get up there again. He has a crossing route to Dembski, passes that up for the check down out of the backfield to Oliveira, but he took a good shot. He had to gather himself to get up from that one.
They'll need 2 more yards from their own 51. Oliveira, surely he'll get it. He does. Pushing ahead. He's got a first down. Still turning away. Bernie Oliveira. Best run of the ball game for 20 in white.
He's got that patented hit the head after these big runs. Hits it on the fly, and watch the effort after first contact. And that doesn't happen until he gets in the linebacking core here. And then watch the legs. Drive those legs. High knee, one twist, and then get tackled forward.
DeMarcus Fields is just hanging on for the ride there, wasn't he?
For a ride.
The Bombers from the Saskatchewan 42. Collaros. Wide open. Wolatarski for a first down. Spin move inside the 30 down to the Rider 25.
Nick Dembski came out of the backfield here, and he took off to draw the coverage deep and away from Wolatarski on that one. To the right of your screen here, you're going to see number 10. He's flying down the field. Up at the top of your screen there. And that pulled coverage back. Watch Dembski go down. He just took off to try and pull that corner, pull that coverage from Sales.
First catch of the game for Wolatarski. Collaros. Is he going to look to the end zone here? He's in trouble. Intercepted. The Riders defense takes it away. Again. Adam Auclair, first of the season. Collaros on the run to his right. Didn't see anything he liked. And Auclair says thank you very much. Riders ball.
Well, that's great linebacker play by Laval product. Adam Auclair here to step up and stop the run, and then see that it wasn't run and redirect to get underneath this throw from Zach Collaros. Not a great decision by the veteran quarterback, but watch Auclair to the bottom right of your screen. He is digging after going to his run responsibility to get back over there in the passing game, and Zach didn't know he was that far across the field towards the sideline.
Jameer Thurman at halftime said this game would come down to turnovers. The Riders just drive the field for a touchdown and then get the turnover at the other end. Patterson backpedaling big time, but heaves it to the far side, and Emelis is there to hang on.
Another area where they've really improved from last season is their giveaway takeaway categories, and mentioned it off the top. The Riders now a +9, #1 in the CFL. And yeah, Jameer Thurman called.
They did say, right?
No, we're far from done here. I'm just.
Well, there could certainly be another turnover that factors
exactly
into this game still. 2nd and 2 for Patterson. Down the field. Heaves one up. Oh, and a really late flag there. Ford working on Emelis. Didn't seem like much.
Defensive pass interference. Winnipeg number 30. The ball will be played for the infraction occurred. Automatic first down.
Yeah, if that's defensive pass interference, we're in trouble.
That's one thing. You could call that almost every play. 30-yard swing. You can see why Ford was disappointed on that one. Wow.
Yeah, that.
Of course, Mike O'Shea
You want to snap the ball. You saw Saskatchewan going.
There's a completion. Big hill. Can't hold him down. And Jones got some room to the 20. And finally they'll take him down there. Jones have a half.
Joe is strong. He catches his crosser after a gift PI call to keep the drive alive. And Joe says, okay, we got another shot. Get the corner and hustle down. He just beat one of the best tacklers in the game. Look, I don't know if he's grimacing or having fun and smiling.
6'2", a sturdy 211, making a big impact for the injured Schaefer Baker. Patterson, pressure coming. Can he get away? No, they'll get there and take him down. Willie Jefferson finishes the job that Taiwan Garbutt started.
I tell you what, Taiwan Garbutt has shown some things tonight. I've seen a couple of real good bull rushes, seen a couple of fast moves. That's a rip move with the right arm underneath the blocking attempt of Jacob Brammer, and he just gets to Patterson. But both ends got there, Willie Jefferson and Garbutt. But he has done some good things in this game tonight.
16-yard loss. 2nd and 26 for Patterson now. He'll have 3 options over to his right. He'll try to run it. A.J. Lett pushing ahead and makes it a much more manageable field goal attempt. That will begin the 4th quarter for us here at Mosaic. The Riders looking to bounce back after their first loss of the season. They've got a 7-point lead through 3 quarters at home on Friday Night Football against the Bombers. The Riders at home, where they're unbeaten so far this year with a 13-6 lead on the Bombers. Time of possession favoring the Riders here as well. And what's been a pretty physical ball game so far between these two clubs.
And just the one turnover, that decision by Zach Collaros. But you know what I think we should do? I think we should sit apart so that you and I don't draw a penalty flag tonight, because there has been 3 phantom penalties. And, you know, for Bomber fans, it's going to cost them 3 points here because they were off the field. Their defense was off the field, and the Tyrell Ford barely, they both stopped together, receiver and DB. I'm not sure about that at all.
31-yard attempt for Brett Lawther just inside the left hash. This will give his team a 10-point cushion to begin the 4th quarter. And he tucks her home. And the Riders in the driver's seat for head coach Corey Mace. Well, Zach Collaros, after throwing that interception, will look to get his offense on track. Quiet thus far this evening. Dembski with 1 catch. Ontario Wilson held off the score sheet thus far. Collaros back to Brady Oliveira, 8th catch of the game for Brady, and he pushes ahead. Knocked out just shy of a 1st down, but we've seen that play a lot tonight.
I was going to say that's been the issue a little bit for Zach Collaros. Even if they've got a couple of run plays going, he just doesn't either have the time to push the ball down the field, or if he does have the time, the coverage is so good that he ends up checking it down anyway, because it's been a lot of those type of check down throws to Brady Oliveira or little crossing routes.
Strevler into the game on 2nd and 1. And he has enough for a Winnipeg 1st down. Zach's only got 14 completions tonight. 8 of them have gone to his running back.
Yeah, and not in like screen plays.
No.
Those are 8 passes on check down. So he's looking for more. He's looking down the field, going through progressions. Doesn't have a lot of time to get to number 3 in the progression chart, so he dumps it down to Brady Oliveira.
Brady now through the air and on the ground at 109 total yards of offense for Winnipeg. Three options out to the right for Collaros this time. Riders will bring 5. Zach gets it away. Dembski hauls it in. Almost broke a tackle, but was tripped up trying to get away from C.J. Rivas.
Nice little combination routes out there. That 3-receiver side, the trip side. And Dembski comes up with it on first down.
They'll give him 5 yards. They'll need 5 more. 4 options this time. Wide side left. Empty backfield for Collaros. Goes right over the middle, and that one dropped by Wilson. Got his hands on it, but couldn't finish the job.
Well, Zach Collaros sees no one in the middle. And so he knows he's got a route going there, and that's Josh Johnson. So if you got a route going in the middle, it's wide open. That's the throw. He didn't have to wait for his protection or anything like that to get set up. Or excuse me, Wilson on that crossing route. But that was the blitz breaker, and he just missed him.
Jamison Sheen. The time he lets this fly, will be right about on that logo as Mario Alford waits back at his 10-yard line. Just a beautiful night here in Regina. Alford waits, takes it at the 6, pressure in his face right away, and he's forced to step out of bounds after just a short return at Mosaic Stadium on Friday Night Football.
We told you off the top we'd be looking at a matchup between Jacob Brammer, the rookie right tackle playing for Jamarcus Hardrick, against Willie Jefferson and Taiwan Garba. And when we took a look at that isolation, he's not only holding his own, he's made some really nice blocks. There's a nice pickup in the pass protection, finishing that block. And Brammer playing for Hardrick was a story all week for the Riders.
According to the internet, he punted in high school as well, just if you can trust the internet. A.J. Ouellette, great push ahead. First down, Riders. How about this run?
Good.
One of his most impressive of the evening.
Yeah, and those guys love to run block, so they're going to go ahead and do that. Played at North Texas. Actually, Brammer played and blocked for Mason Fine, who was beat out this year by Shea Patterson here in Saskatchewan. So it is a tight fraternity. He finished his final college career at Vanderbilt, but
just the 1 year at Vandy, I think. First and 10 now from the 26. Bombers will bring 5. Patterson over the middle, and that falls incomplete. Super late flag from the near sideline on that one. Pass interference against the Bombers.
intended target was a JoJo.
Defensive pass interference. Winnipeg number 37. The ball will be placed at the point of the infraction. Automatic first down.
I think it was Evan Holm on the coverage, but you know, again, some early contact. I guess my question on this is that a catchable ball? It looked overthrown, even when you're throwing to a JoJo who's 6'3" and has some pretty good jumps. I mean, he can get up there. And that was a little bump. I mean, again, they're calling it tight tonight. I'm gonna take another step away from you, or we're gonna get a flag in the booth.
The defensive pass interference was against Winnipeg number 31. The ball will be placed at the 43-yard line.
Holm, who's been so good for the Bombers, gets flagged on that play. 1st and 10 now from the Rider 43. Ouellette pushing ahead again. Broke a couple of tackles, and he's got them in a second and manageable just beyond their own 50.
Jacob Brammer with nice block on that. Going one-on-one with Willie Jefferson. And there's a guy replacing their big off-season acquisition. 6'4", 300 pounds, plays great physicality, was a academic, SEC academic honor roll member.
Talked to Corey Mace about him earlier this week and said that they've been giving Hardrick a lot of rest throughout the year anyway. So Brammer's been taking a ton of first-team reps at right tackle, so he's ready for the moment. Patterson throwing here. Tackle made immediately by Cramdy, and that'll bring up 3rd down. Big tackle by Reddick Cramdy, as Emilus just had nowhere to go.
Yeah, and just to finish the thought on Jacob Brammer, that's a big tackle by Cramdy, but to finish the thought, Brammer, sometimes tonight they've been letting the defensive ends go, so the tackles aren't necessarily supposed to block by assignment. They're supposed to down block, and we saw a couple of examples of that in this little highlight pack.
Horshak gets it away, far side of the field. That will bounce just inside the 20. Case takes it up along the far sideline, popped out of bounds, and a flag comes out late on that one. Dalkey along the board, or along the far side, draws the penalty that time. Collaros trailing by 10. Just over 9 minutes left. A ton of time for the Bombers here if they can get this offense in sync. Really only Brady Oliveira working for them so far. 1st and 10. Just outside the 40. And that one caught by Wilson, but did he land in bounds? A discussion on the sideline. And they're going to say he did. There he is.
Well, the penalty was against Dalkey. That's why they have the field position that they have, and it was a good penalty. It was correct call, and he got his foot in. That's an unbelievable catch by Wilson. Goes up, twists the opposite way. Great body control. Comes down with 1 foot in bounds. Big time.
What an effort for 20 yards. Collaros. Wolotarski, 1st down, Winnipeg, and the Bombers quickly marching after getting that extra field position on the penalty to Dalkey.
Well, that deeper throw is what's given this offense a little bit of traction, a little bit of confidence. They were not able to push the ball down the field, but Wilson makes an excellent catch.
Collaros up to 168 yards through the air. Just over 7.5 to play. Riders will bring 5. Collaros gets it away. Trying to reach back with one hand was Wilson. Couldn't do it this time with Williams in his back pocket.
Well, one more time. Let's go back, because that was a great catch. I mean, this is Wilson. He's in that number 2 spot right there, and Wilson running in behind and running that short corner. Short corner or deeper out. 2 hands on the ball, great concentration, has to flip his body the opposite direction, pull it down, and keep the foot in bounds. That's big.
I don't know how those guys do that. Just terrific athleticism. Unreal stuff from Ontario Wilson. 2nd and 10, though, for Collaros. Flags here, way offside, and that'll be blown down. 2 or 3 guys look like over the line. The Riders crowd goes to work here in support of their defense.
Offside. Winnipeg, number 80. 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
Oh, it was Wilson. It might not have just been Wilson, but
no, I think there were that whole wide side of the field was a good 2 yards offside, and I agree. You chalk one up to the crowd there.
Yeah. Bring it again. 2nd and 15 for Zach. Collaros. Brady Oliveira. penalty if it's against the Bombers. And I think it is.
It is. It's a hold. They're creeping out of field goal range.
Holding Winnipeg number 67. 10-yard penalty will replay second down.
Well, they could have. This is the second one I agree with on the calls. Those are the two guys that basically create the takedowns here. One on Carney. That could have been a holding on the outside to Stanley Bryant. They called Kolinkowski in the middle, but
Also a hold.
also a hold. Takes him out of field goal range.
Second and 25 from the 51 now. Just a three-man pressure. Colares escapes to his right. Gets it to Oliveira. Broke one tackle, but is tripped up. Does get it back into a very workable field goal range for Sergio Castillo.
Yes, and they had to. The Bombers needed to get at least 3 on this.
Had to happen.
This field position, so that's a big play to just get the penalty yards back and get into Castillo field goal range. A comfortable field goal attempt here.
And nothing opening up downfield for Colares. Gets it to Oliveira. And a stumble ahead gets a few extra yards for Castillo, who missed, but it was from 61 in the first half. Has already hit from 57. And this one from 39 is smoothed home. And we've got a one-possession ball game with 5:51 on the clock between the Bombers and the Riders. Well, if you're just joining us, it was a busy first half for Schaefer Baker. Targeted 8 times, caught 4 of them, and then ended up leaving the game due to an injury. You'll see on the last catch here, comes up with a little bit of a grimace after this tackle by Holm.
There's the one right there. Got up. Wasn't quite right there. Played a little bit longer and then was gone for the rest of the game at halftime.
Joes came into the game in place of him. Caught all 3 targets for 64 yards. Patterson near side. Drops one in there nicely. Perfect throw. Beautiful catch. Emilus.
Yeah, I like how Shea Patterson on the play action fake here has got to turn his back to where he's going to throw it to Emilus. So he's turned, ducks his head to not give away that he wants to throw this wide side out. And he's been very accurate on a couple of throws that he has been leaning away from. That gives Emilus lots of time to work his route. Go with that inside stem move and then work it up the field, come back to the sideline.
215 passing yards for the new daddy. Got a touchdown as well. A.J. Letts. 3 to 4 yards on that first down carry.
So we heard it was an upper body injury. We get a better idea of where based on that sling for Schaefer Baker.
Unless they're trying to trick us.
It could be.
Tough to see. He was having, I mean, he had about, what do we say, 70% of the targets early in the game for Patterson. Good job by Patterson to move that ball around here in the second half.
And going right to a JoJo as a replacement.
Bombers will bring a bunch. That's tipped and falls incomplete. Good time to bring some heat for Winnipeg, and that'll bring up third down. And they will kick it away.
On the opposite side of that matchup, but not a surprise at all that it was Willie Jefferson that's going to get another knockdown.
This one would have been about a 56, 57-yarder. We were watching Lawther at half. Hit one from 55, but kick this away, play defense, and it's been a great defense that the Riders have brought to the table so far this evening. Cody Case awaits the kick. He's been contained for the most part tonight. Korshak hangs this one up there. Case takes it at the 10. Once again, no space down the field after a 39-yard kick by Korshak.
On the last drive, Zach Collaros got things going with that throw to Wilson, who, again, made a big catch, a real tough catch. Get things going to get down into field goal range, make it a one-possession game. Corey Mace now might want to give a little more attention to number 80.
Bombers defense, or offense rather, trying to break through here. They've been held to just 3 Castillo field goals so far. And Zach ended up kind of getting drug along with Brady Oliveira on that one.
Well, that was that play where you have the option of the quarterback to pull the ball and get outside, maybe throw it or run it yourself. And yeah, it looked like Brady Oliveira thought he was supposed to have it, so he was holding it and dragging Zach Collaros forward.
Only a yard. Second and 9 for Winnipeg. Collaros in trouble again. Escapes on the run down the field. Got it, Wilson at the 40. Bounce back up to the 45, and a big one for Ontario Wilson as the Bombers keep this late game drive alive.
Great block by Brady Oliveira.
Open things up. Collaros, Wilson. Bombers aren't done yet.
This play is made by Brady Oliveira. Watch him scan the backside of this and then call in his teammate Drew Wolotarski. You got to come in and you block the backside because I got to pick up a blitz from the linebacker on the opposite side. He read that, picked up the protection, made the block, and allowed Zach Collaros to escape.
Collaros on first down. Down the middle of the field again. It's Dembski. Dembski's got it to the 30. Dembski on the backside. What's happening? The Riders grab it, and their defense comes up with it again. You've got to be kidding me. Marcus Sales has it, and he'll eventually find a little bit of space now. He won't go down. And finally, they get him at the 30. What a turn of events as the Riders defense comes up big.
He said it at halftime. He said the key play to Britt on the sideline, the key play in this game is probably going to come down to a turnover. Nick Dembski looks like he might score, and guess who chases him down from behind? Jameer Thurman has him around the shoulder pads and then punches the ball out with the right hand. Called his shot, created the turnover, and maybe that is the big play that is the difference tonight.
What a play by Thurman. Had 3 fumble recoveries coming into this game. Forces the fumble there. Crowd erupted. Dembski can't believe it. He was thinking touchdown the other way. Thurman, other ideas. Patterson now. Then he put together a drive to seal this away. A.J. Ouellette, 3 yards on that first down carry, maybe 4. Still lots of time for the Bombers to get a stop.
No question. No question, lots of time. That's why you can see Shea Patterson blocking in right now. Now, can Willie Jefferson block one of these throws? It's a throwing down, maybe screen draw for high percentage, but they need at least 1 more first down, probably 2, to try and grind that clock down.
Huge stop here if the Bombers can get it. Patterson needs 7 for a first down. He'll send Ouellette out to his right. Bombers are going to bring everybody. Patterson gets it away. First down and some more. John Jones is going to go down to the 40, 35 before he's pushed out of bounds by Evan Holm. Wow. Look at that kid run.
On the blitz, you can't block them all. And what's incredible about this play is Shea Patterson in start number 3 is going to recognize the blitz, see where the linebacker vacates, and know that a Joe is going into that spot. Can't block them all off the edge there, so you're going to have a free guy. But can you get rid of the ball, and does your receiver see it too? And this is a rookie receiver that saw the hot route, get to it, get him the football, and break the blitz.
1st and 10 after 50 yards for Joe. Let pushing ahead. And he'll be tripped up and taken down by Nichols.
So both guys have to recognize this. Shea Patterson's going to take the ball. He knows blitz is coming. I got to get it to my hot read. So there he saw it, and he got it just before that pressure got there. A Joe needs to know that too. He might have had an out route or a deeper route, but he had to see the blitz, go into the middle, create a hot route, and look at that. Little celebration down the field. Read by the young
Winnipeg
receiver, completed in the turnover. Now they're in positive territory.
110 yards receiving in the second half for Joe. What an athlete. Got that stride going, and he was galloping away to the races on that last one. Timeout called here with 1:58 on the clock. A.J. Ouellette in pain on the sideline. O'Shea watches on. Six more for Patterson. He'll hand it off, pushed ahead, and that will bring up 3rd down. Akovic on the carry, had the touchdown, the only touchdown in this ball game. And now Lawler will trout out to try to make it once again a 10-point lead.
Yep, 2-possession game again if he makes this field goal.
Riders looking to improve to 3-0 at home to start the campaign.
That read by Shea Patterson again, mature beyond his years. How many times have you seen young quarterbacks panic in that situation and almost duck because they know the pressure's coming?
Yeah, that's a good point. Lawler from 32, just inside that right hash. Korczak holds. Lawler nails it. And the Riders, with just 92 seconds on the clock, lead the Bombers by 10.
Big crowd here at Mosaic for this one tonight. And they responded to their coach's request. And it wasn't, you know, like, come on, guys, where are you? It was a very, hey, you'll be entertained by this team. Come out and support this team. Guys are working hard. And the fans came through big time. Over 30,000 tonight.
To watch a defense that has held Zach Collaros and the Bombers to just 3 field goals. Case, Johnny Augustine go back to receive this kick.
Packed house on a nice summer night.
Oh, beautiful. Riders will kick it away again. Case takes it just inside the 10. Opens up a little bit of space. Now it's going to be a race to the far sideline. He'll get to the 35. Now the 40, and eventually forced out of bounds. Decent return, but the clock, not much help for the Bombers here.
Need a major and a field goal. This is right around that time where, you know, again, the discussion in the bar with your buddy where you say, if Zach Collaros gets a chunk play and gets in field goal range, they kick it right away. That takes care of one score. Then they got to go onside kick, try to get the ball back, and now you get another. Or do you keep going thinking you want the major first?
I just throw 3 Hail Marys and hope that it works. Collaros down the field. Detsky can't hang on. Pops too, didn't he?
It has been a physical game. There's no question. Down in the trenches for sure, but also back there in the back end, a couple of hits from Roland Milligan. This was, I believe, LaCombo coming in, getting his head out of the contact area. That's textbook. Teammates like it.
Second and 10 for Collaros. He's in trouble and he's taken down. Caleb Sanders gets there. First CFL sack.
Sanders down in that 4-point sprint stance, but he's going to go on a bit of a stunt. So he goes up the field, then he's going to swing around and go outside, and he gets home.
South Dakota State. He's loving it. 3rd and 19. Can the Riders defense officially seal this away? Collaros in trouble again. Checked down from behind. Fumbles the ball. That'll do it. A fitting finish to a game in which the Riders defense dominates the Bombers.
Coverage downfield, just 3-man pressure. Everyone else going to drop off for the Riders, and Zach Claus just can't find the deep ball. And now he's in trouble. No way he could launch it from just trying to scramble around like that. Carney ends up getting there and causing another turnover, but the Bombers recovered, didn't get yards gained, so it's Saskatchewan ball.
They'll hand it off. Let up the middle, and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers 2-game winning streak about to be snapped. This is the 3rd time in the last 10 now that the Riders will take a victory away from their rivals. And keeping pace, of course, BC still to play on Sunday in Calgary. We'll have that game for you. But the Riders keeping as much pace as they can here.
And bouncing back from a loss. I mean, Corey Mace is new head coach for this football team, is started the season 4-0, went into BC, red hot team there, lost one that was close down to the wire. But you always wonder how a team's going to bounce back from a loss. Played a very physical game, was one possession pretty much all the way down to midway through the 4th here. It's a good Bomber team that's been on a roll over the last 2 games. And the word is, now this is definitely not official yet. That's Trevor Harris, and he's on the 6th game, but could come off early. Maybe, I'm hearing maybe not next week, but possibly the week after. And I think he just signaled to us one more week.
I think it was 5-1. Okay. I think he was saying 5-1.
Okay. I just thought if it was going one more week.
Imagine a player breaking their own injury news on the sideline in a game.
Again, though, you have to be impressed with, in this 3rd start, Shea Patterson.
Please reset the game clock to 5 seconds. 5 seconds.
Now Patterson's going to work with Trevor in the quarterback room, preparing for every one of these starts, and that's a big part of his development. But I just his poise beyond his years as a starter. He's been in the league for a while, so going back to BC in 21 and that kind of thing.
Had to win the backup job this year, though.
Exactly. But has shown great growth in just 3 games, and I think he'd be well over 300 if not for a few drops in the 1st quarter.
261 yards and a touchdown pass for Patterson. On the run as the clock ticks down. Big Hill pops him right at the end of the game, and now they're going to go after Big Hill. Brammer went right at number 4. A.J. Ouellette wants a piece. And the officials will try to separate the Bombers and Riders, setting the stage for Labor Day, doesn't it? Oh, Biggie, that hurt. You didn't have to do that. Nathan O'Shea trying to clear things out.
Well, I'll say this about the hit. We got to wrap this thing up, but I'll say this. Shea Patterson put himself in a little bit into that position. He could have thrown it away well before the contact, and then Adam Big Hill would have to pull himself off. But having said that, Big Hill didn't have to drive him into turf like he did. It was the last play of the game. He knew it was the last play of the game. It was unnecessary to take it that far.
Woo. Fireworks to wrap up the Bombers and Riders on Friday Night Football at Mosaic. Saskatchewan 5-1 on the season. 3-0 at home. Patterson gets the job done, and their defense does the rest. 19-9 the final. Sports Center's coming up. Good night from Regina.
What's up, everybody? Welcome inside Sports Center. Thanks for joining us. Tessa and Kara along with you. So we're going to start with the CFL. We're going to get to the game that you just saw in just a moment. First, we got to talk about the frustrating times in Edmonton. Change of the guard in terms of coaching. Just a very frustrated team. Really looking to turn things around as they take on the Red Blacks.
Yeah, there's a whole new message coming into this one now that Chris Jones was out. The message from Jarius Jackson was focus on what we can control heading into this one. We're going to hear from McLeod Bethel-Thompson after this one because their frustrations continued. We saw a number of injuries in this one. For the Elks, they were coming in on just 4 days rest after playing on Sunday. We will get to all that in just a moment, but first, yes, Jarius Jackson serving as interim head coach now. Chris Jones relieved of his duties midweek after an 0-5 start capped off by a loss just 5 days ago against the Red Blacks. Drew Brown had 480 passing yards for Ottawa in that one. Their opening drive connects with Dominique Rhymes for 36 yards. That would lead to a Red Blacks touchdown. Jackson and the Elks trailing early on, second quarter. Now 11-6 Red Blacks. Brown got some time to throw. Looking to go deep again this time. He's picked off by Darius Bratton. The Elks defense hanging tough. Their second interception on Brown in the first half. He had only thrown 2 coming into this one. On the ensuing possession, Edmonton's offense trying to take advantage. Damon Webb swallows up Javon Leake for the big loss. That crushes that drive. Edmonton's offense can't find the end zone in the first half, but they're only down 14-9 at the break, so that's the good news. Third quarter, we still got a 5-point game. Some good field goal position for the Elks. McLeod Bethel-Thompson's going deep, trying to give them the lead, but it's just out of reach for Dylan Mitchell. Another missed opportunity for the Elks offense. So no points coming off that drive. Into the fourth, the Elks desperately needing to put some points up, trailing by 6. But Bethel-Thompson is picked off. The Elks offense held out of the end zone in the game. They fall to 0-6, losing in Jackson's debut. Afterward, McLeod Bethel-Thompson sounding off on the league about the short week.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's a 5-day week, and how many career-ending injuries or serious injuries happened tonight. It's a shame. It's a travesty. I got fined for protecting my brothers. I got fined for protecting players. On a 5-day week against the same team, you couldn't add 2 days to it? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. How many season-ending injuries did we have tonight? How many season injuries did that team have tonight? And I got fined for player safety. I got fined for talking about my brothers. It's disgusting. It shouldn't happen. I just feel so terrible for the guys that now have to go through surgery, go through rehab. It's easy to sit in an ivory tower and plan some schedule and think that they'll be just fine. These are human lives that you're dealing with. These are businesses. These are professionals that you're dealing with, and you're putting them on a 5-day week against the same team. That makes no sense. This makes no sense, and I'll probably get fined for it again, and I don't care. But protecting my brothers, it's ridiculous. How many career-ending, how many serious injuries, how many surgeries are you talking about? You're talking about a business. You're spending more money to fix people than you are just paying attention to it. It's ridiculous. I wish better for this league. I wish better for this league. It's unacceptable, unacceptable. And I address the player safety issue, address it right in the freaking face. It's just, he's a slappy.
When Trade Ford got in, it might have been, tough for you on that rhythm. Did that affect anything at all?
Yeah, it's horrible. I mean, to be pulled out of a game and then to be put back in. And That sucks, but it's life.
Man, there's just nothing going right for the Edmonton Elks right now. It's been a long few seasons. They're off to an 0-6 start for the second straight season. After getting off to a slow start in the previous 3 seasons, the Elks unable to rebound. They didn't win more than 4 games in any of those years. Now, we did have some good news for Elks fans. Their next game will be against the Ticats, who are currently 0-5, who play the Argos Saturday. With more, let's say hello to Kate in the panel.
Alongside Enoch Mwamba, David Sanchez, Jim Barker, and Paul Lapolice. And just when you thought things couldn't get worse in Edmonton, they dropped to 0-6 on the season. And you clearly have a very frustrated starting quarterback in McLeod Bethel Thompson. Lapo, I'm going to begin with you here. You've had a situation where you have a starting quarterback and a backup, and somehow you have to find a way for this to work.
Yeah, I think the most important thing you have to do is be consistent. And that's what I used to have to do with Chris Streveler. If you tell him, listen, you're going to go in for the short yardage game. After the short yardage plays, we're going to keep you in. And if you get first downs, I'll keep you in for more plays. And I think that's the fairest thing for everybody in the building. But to, hey, you're going to go in sometime in the second quarter, you're going to go for a series. That's, I think, really difficult for a coach and for the quarterback, because the quarterback wants to be in rhythm. And that's the hardest part of, like, the quarterback starting to get in rhythm, then he's jumping out. So if everybody's on the same page when that happens, I think it can be done.
Well, McLeod's a pro, and he cares about basically his job is for him to perform at a high level. And he's a frustrated athlete right now. His last year in this league, he won a Grey Cup. And now here he comes in. And again, they haven't won a game. That is his responsibility as a starting quarterback. Now they go to 0-6. And again, I think he's frustrated. I think he understands that Trey Ford may come in some. Is there going to be consistency? I think, that's still to be determined, because he doesn't want to be a short yardage guy. So they're putting him in will be different. Again, I think McLeod is acting like a pro. He's saying the things that he believes are pertinent to him and how he can help this team win games.
Okay, well, just quickly, you mentioned the 5-day windows of play. That's NFL plays on Sunday night, and then they play on Thursday nights lots of the time. So it's not a CFL-only thing. None of us like it. It's sometimes the way the schedule goes. It is what it is. Also, the quarterback situation, Lapo, it makes sense. You want to be fair. You want to be consistent. So for a quarterback, you can tell him, okay, we're going to give you a few series. You can tell him, hey, we'll try to keep you in rhythm. But this is pro football. Jarius Jackson's job is to get wins. Too bad if you don't like if you're coming out. Too bad if you feel out of rhythm. Too bad if you want more reps at practice. It is what it is. So for Mac, I know what he wants. For Trey, I know what he wants. But at the end of the day, you got to find a way to win. And whatever Jarius feels like he needs to do to get W's, you do it. And you don't worry about anybody's damn feelings.
Absolutely. You talk about it. It has to come down from Jarius, and what he says needs to go. We have to manage expectations like you talked about, Lapo, and everybody needs to know exactly what is going to happen, and that is how it's going to go. We're going to win, and we're going to lose the way that Jarius Jackson says things are going to go. And so that's what needs to happen, so everybody knows going into each game what the expectations are. And the truth is this. When you win games, you don't have these conversations.
Right.
Now that they're losing, that's why it's so loud.
What you're saying, Enoch, is right. And I think what Jarius is saying is what they're doing. Yep. I think McLeod is erring, and Jarius was a quarterback. So he knows the whole thing about getting in rhythm and the things you have to do. He's erring. Me as a quarterback, this is the issue.
Yes. He wants to keep the rhythm. He wants to do it because he knows quarterbacks. You're right. He wants to keep a rhythm. He wants to be fair and consistent. At the end of the day, they got to do what they got to do.
He wants to win games.
I was going to say, you know what fixes all of this?
Winning
a football game. But for Jarius Jackson coming into this new head coaching job, my goodness, it hasn't been easy to say the least. But at least they get the Hamilton Tiger Cats next as we send it back to Sports Center.
Thanks, Kate. All right, the Riders debuting their alternate jerseys, a darker shade of green. I like these.
Yeah, he's okay.
No, he just doesn't like. Okay.
No, I'm fine with them.
All right. Pick it up tied at 6 in the third quarter. Winnipeg forgets all about Clint Rakovich. He's wide open. Shea Patterson finds him for the easy TD. Just the second catch of the season for Rakovich. Caps off a 6-play, 74-yard drive. It's 13-6 Riders. Meantime, Zach Collaros threw for over 300 yards in last week's win over Calgary. Still in the third quarter, he gets picked off by Adam LeClaire. Collaros picked off for a league-high 7th time this season. On the ensuing Riders drive, Shea Patterson finds a Joe cross in the middle, breaks a tackle, goes for 33 yards. That, my friends, would lead to a field goal. The Riders, they're up by 10. Move to the fourth quarter as the Bombers driving with 8 minutes to go. Collaros to Ontario Wilson. Nice grab. That led to a field goal. Winnipeg down by 7. They're driving again with 3 minutes to play. Collaros buys some time. Finds Wilson again. That's good for 28 yards. Takes it near midfield. Same drive. Collaros spots Nick Dembski. And Dembski with some room to run. But Jameer Thurman with a great play, punching the ball free. The Riders recover. That's a huge turnover. The Riders defense comes up big with that play. They win 19-9. The final. The Riders improved to 5-1 for the first time since 2013. Now, Saskatchewan now won 2 of the last 3 meetings between these two. Before that, Winnipeg had won 8 straight meetings. Winnipeg has just won 2 of their last 7 road games. All right, new on SC, here's Shea Patterson.
Well, Shea, a bit of a physical ending to the game there. This was a back-and-forth matchup all night long. So what can you say about how this team was able to get the win here tonight?
I'm just proud of our guys, proud of our coaches, proud of my teammates, proud of the fans for showing up here tonight. It was an amazing atmosphere, and just grateful we got out of it with the W.
Well, it was a one-possession game, and you were trying to get this team in field goal range, and you made some incredible reads on some plays. So walk us through that drive.
I think we had a zone read and then a couple of just pure progression reads. You know, coaches put a great game plan in, and it's our job to execute it. And it doesn't matter the situation, just go out there and execute.
What can you say about your defense tonight, the way that they held Winnipeg to just field goals on the scoreboard?
Yeah, that's unbelievable, especially with, you've got a bunch of proven winners on that side of the sideline, especially Zach and, all those guys. They've won the Grey Cup a couple times. So for them to come out here and do that and give us the confidence to go on the field and, play free, it was awesome.
Well, Clint Rakovich gets his first touchdown of his career, but as well, I want to talk about Joe. Came in for KSB when he went down. What can you say about his performance?
Man, just big-time players make big-time plays in big situations. So, Joe, he's a huge target. You can't miss him, and just so proud of him. So proud of him. He works so hard, and I'm glad we got him the ball tonight.
Thanks so much, Shane. Congrats on staying undefeated at Mosaic here as a starter.
Let's keep it going.
All right, week 7 in the CFL continues Saturday with the Ticats and Argos squaring off for the first time this season. Toronto has won the last 6 meetings between the two teams. You can catch all the action at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific right here on TSN.